Hi everybody, Chris here from Truly Holistic. In this video, I'm going to talk about three brief things, but three very important things that you can do to drastically change your life for the better. Okay? So let's get straight into those. Now, the first one is to allow instead of deny. The second one is to surrender instead of control. And the third one is to forgive instead of to hold on to. Okay. Now, why I say these are three extremely important things, but very simple things when we come to the core of them, and how that can drastically change your life, is the fact that when we look at the things that we're not wanting to do, well, right, which are deny, control, hold on to things, are very human things, very much human things that we're conditioned and taught to do as the human. Okay, it's not something that authentically comes from within us. It's something that is taught, conditioned to be. Okay, and when we look at, if we want to live a life where we're trying to deny things, trying to control our own fate with everything, and control others as an extension of that, and also holding on to everything that we've experienced, including the traumas and everything like that, that makes life harder, doesn't it? It doesn't make it more simple or easier. It makes it harder. And what we've really come to find is that as the human, we generally make things more complex than they need to be. And this is because the human is generally a byproduct of the mind. Okay, and the mind is very analytical, very complicated, very complex. And it's the reason why we form a state of stress or being overwhelmed in the first place, which we know is connected to every illness and disease there is. So straight away we must question, okay, well, why are we being taught then to be this way? Taught to be thinkers, right? If we have issues, problems, well, let's think it through. That's how we're taught as humans. But that process is making it harder to be the human, harder to live life, because it's detrimental to ourselves. Okay? So when we look at the three things we're going to replace those with, right? So instead of deny, allow. Instead of control, surrender. Instead of holding on to things, forgive. Why they're so simple in their nature? Because they are not bound to what conditions and controls the human, which is the mind. It's nothing to do with the mind. It's all to do with the heart. Because the heart is your center of neutrality, which is providing a state of balance, right? The human controlled by mind, out of a mind thought process, we provide duality, which is an unbalanced state. Okay. So see that deny, control, holding on to, our mind, it's what the mind knows. Because the mind doesn't know how to allow, mind doesn't know how to surrender, and the mind doesn't know how to forgive. Okay. So let's get into, okay, allow, right? Surrender, forgive. The things that we do want to provide, the things that we do want to do, that can drastically change our life for the better. Right? Is a lot of people that come and do sessions with me, right? And we see different kind of responses to the healing method that I provide, right? In regards to what they feel. And I always say to them, okay, everyone's different and unique, and you know, some people will feel a lot and they'll be yawning a lot, which is the feeling of energy moving and shifting. But I'll get clients also yawning, but they'll deny the fact that things moving. Oh, it's just because I'm tired. Because that's how we're conditioned to see yawning. yawning is an aspect of being tired. And really what we find is that yawning is actually more connected to when you sit down or you're in a state where you kind of feel tired, you're providing a state of being which enables flow to happen, energy shifting, right? It's the real origin of that. Is that, I'll get clients that come in that they're kind of, you can tell by their energy, they're kind of being forced into the session. It's because their wife brings them in, right? Who's really into this type of modality, or people are a little bit unsure about it, right? And you can sense the wall there, right? Which is not allowing. Okay, and if they are feeling anything, they're not going to bring that forth, right? That they're not enabling a state of allowing. They're denying things, and this is a very human thing. This is what the mind does. Mind puts veils and walls between people and between other things. Okay, it's limiting your potential. It's not expanding your potential. Okay, it kind of essentially numbs you. Okay, so a big aspect is this allowing, right? You need to allow, because you need to provide the state to allow things to happen. They don't, the old human paradigm is that we externalize everything, right? So everything is not bound or connected to me in the way it will turn out, the way things will happen. Well, no. What I've found is that you're the pivotal aspect of allowing things to happen and to not happen. Okay, so you need to provide a state to allow things to occur. So that's why that's very important. Now, when we get into surrender, right, instead of control, in a lot of videos and when I talk to my clients, I talk a lot about, we've got two choices, two pathways to kind of live our life, right? Process our life. And that's either through mind thought or heart feel. And we've talked about the mind limiting, right? And essentially, as humans, we're taught and conditioned to be thinkers. Okay. And thinking and overthinking quite often becomes the obstruction blockage to our ability to grow, evolve, and expand, right? So it limits us. And we kind of use thought with what we see, right? But sadly, what we see is less than 0.003% of electromagnetic spectrum of light. So those two things are our limited aspects of ourselves. Feel, which is connected to our heart, has no boundary onto it, is not limited. A lot of times what you can be feeling through the body can be something that's happening on the other end of a multiverse, a variant that shares your energy signature, which we call the soul, through a quantum entanglement connection. You can feel it here. So feel is something that is expansive. It's more bound to your original core infinite nature. Okay, it's something that you can really rely on more. So why I bring this up is because control is, the mind only knows control, the heart surrenders, right? So when we enable to surrender ourselves, we automatically drop into the heart, away from the head and the mind, and we drop into the heart, right? As I say, the heart provides a state, it's the center of neutrality, right? To provide a balanced state, to promote flow. The body depends or relies on flow to be in a well and vital state. Okay? It provides, and because of that state, it provides peace, joy, happiness, all these things that every single one of us desire. Our heart desires, right? When we talk about desires, that's what my heart desires. Why? Because the heart facilitates it. Okay, so if you want more of what you want in your life, you need to allow the heart to lead that, because the mind will not give you that. Okay, because the mind controls. So when we talking about people are doing all these certain things to provide mind control, no, the mind does the mind control. The mind is the core of what mind control is. Okay? So sometimes, as a human, we can control something. We're trying to control our fate so much that we might be holding on to something that we need to let go of. And what happens there is essentially that we could be our own worst enemy ourselves. Okay? Because a key aspect of providing the solutions, the results that we want to see, whether that's manifesting what we want in our life or overcoming a health issue, the pivotal aspect is you. It's having a self-awareness of what you're providing from moment to moment. It's not about one or two big things. It's about the little things that are bound and connected to every moment of your existence. And to be aware of that, you need to surrender into the heart, because the heart enables you to be more present in the moment. The mind removes you from that moment, so you lack self-awareness. Okay? And your perspective and perception of what's going on becomes external to you instead of the self-awareness of what you provide. Now let's go to the next one, right? Forgiveness instead of holding on to. So to forgive, it's not about, who am I forgiving? Me or someone else in my life that I might have history with or had a bad experience with. It's not about that. It's more about, what does forgiveness provide you? And the benefit of forgiveness is we let go of what no longer serves us. Okay, and that could be in the form of toxicity build up in the body that came from, I don't know, fungicides, herbicides, and food that's not organically produced, or memories, emotions, perceptions, knowledge that is limiting your potential. All these things that, as the human, with the mind controlling our experience, we create attachments which prevent our ability to flow. And when you have a state of flow, you accumulate, you build up. And the definition of toxicity is what? An accumulation or build up of a substance. Like, for example, water is great for our body. We know that. But if we hold on to too much water on our body, right, where somebody gets pitting edema and they have excess fluid, then it becomes a toxin. Why? Because it accumulates. Who's providing the state to allow the accumulation? Yourself. Okay? Because it comes down to your ability to go with the flow, and if you can't do that, which is to be completely present, self-aware from moment to moment to moment, that's going with the flow, then you're presenting then a state for your body to be in an accumulating congestive state. So you accumulate things, right? You hold on to things. Okay? So now that could be weight issues for people, right? Because that's a way of storing, right? You hold on to stuff. And that might not necessarily with food, because remember, with food, it's not necessarily the food that's the problem. It's the reason why we reach for that food, why we eat a lot of food. That's the why. It's the reason, right? That's the cause to the effect. Okay? So these are very important things you can do that will drastically change your life, right? And again, just to repeat those: to allow instead of deny, to surrender instead of control, and to forgive instead of holding on to things. I'd love to hear your comments. Comment down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel for further content like this. Also, look out for me on social media platforms, on Facebook, trulyholistic.net, on Instagram, truly_holistic. I think I'm on TikTok as well. I can't remember. It's Truly Holistic, if you look that up on TikTok. And obviously we've got so much material that we've got on 450 videos on its way up here on my YouTube channel. So please use those as for education and to explanations of my modality and the concepts that I provide. Of course, I do session work as well, so you can book sessions by going to my website at trulyholistic.net, and you can go to the appointment page to book your own appointment for healing, but also reality coaching, right? To provide more understanding and knowing insight into who you truly are, to give your life more purpose, but also to understand reality and to see that life is like a game, and like any game, you need to know the rules before you play that game. So if you're interested in booking a session, you can go directly to my appointment page, which is trulyholistic.net/appointments/. Until next time, catch you later.